When you play the Game of Thrones, you
Subscribe and like.
or you die. There is no middle ground.
Alright, hello YouTube, and welcome back to the Grease Comedy YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about why Aegon could actually be a Targaryen. Now, you guys may know that I actually do not agree with this theory. I am someone that does believe he is a Blackfire, but I want to talk about the flip side of it. What is the evidence supporting whether he could be a Targaryen? I have a couple things written down, a couple things I want to talk about in this video, and give maybe an argument for why he could possibly be a Targaryen, and let you guys make your own decisions when I talk about. I have a bunch of videos on the channel about how I think he's a Blackfire, but this one will also be about how he's a Targaryen, so you guys can form your own opinions. Let me know before this video starts. Do you think he's a Blackfire or a Targaryen? I think it's a pretty interesting discussion. It's one of my most interesting plots going into Winds of Winter. But yeah, let me know in the comments. But before we get into the rest of the video, if you guys like to like, subscribe, and comment, please do. It helps the channel grow. Reach people that might like this content as well. And let's get into it. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is actually the last chapter we get in A Dance with Dragons. Really the last chapter that's kind of a confirmed. Winds of Winter, a lot of the same chapters he gives us, or, you know, he could rewrite them. Varys firmly tells Kevin Lannister, who is dying, who is going to die, that Aegon is Aegon Targaryen, and that's his actual identity. Why in this situation would Varys lie to a dying man? Is it one of those scenarios where Varys has told this lie so many times that he kind of is willing it into existence? Is it Varys maybe fears that someone else could be listening on the conversation, which again is pretty doubtful because he's framing that the Tyrells, or, you know, helping Tyrion, could have done it with the crossbow and stuff to kind of help with Cersei's paranoia. It is an interesting thing to think about. Why would Varys do that? So that is our first kind of pro Young Griff being Aegon Targaryen. Now, the next thing that we're given is that George R. R. Martin confirmed that there will be a second Dance of the Dragons, basically. Now, could this be with Young Griff and Dany? Could this be with Jon, if he is confirmed as being a Targaryen? Could this be something different meaning that, like, maybe Euron gets a dragon? So in a sense, we have a Dance of Dragons with two dragons fighting on either side. That's possible, because my thing with Aegon becoming, or even fulfilling the Dance of the Dragons, is a Dance of the Dragons with no real dragons on one side doesn't really feel like a Dance of the Dragons. So, yeah. And then the other thing would be, why would Aegon and Daenerys actually fight? So that's kind of the counter argument to it. But again, George R. R. Martin says there's going to be a second Dance of the Dragons. So that's kind of your second hint there to maybe he's a Targaryen. Now, the next one is going to be Tyrion. Tyrion, straight up, he's a very smart dude. He's not like in the show where he gets really dumb. Thinks and figures out that he is Aegon. And also, one of the things that Tyrion notes is that Young Griff exhibits a temper. And he also has great leadership skills when it comes to the Golden Company. Both of these are kind of major traits of the Targaryens, so I think these make sense when you're looking at evidence, especially the Tyrion side of it, right? So, Tyrion, why would he assume it's Aegon Targaryen if he thought maybe it could have been a Blackfire or something along those lines? I think that is some strong evidence as well. Now, another character who firmly believes that he is Aegon Targaryen is Jon Connington. Jon Connington is someone that was with Rhaegar quite a bit. They were very good friends. Jon Con believing very much that Young Griff is Aegon Targaryen, you would think if this was someone else, it was like a Blackfire or something else, Jon Con might be able to pick up on those noticeably differences from his father. But Jon Con very much thinks about Aegon as Rhaegar's son and a lot of their similarities. Now, let's continue on. So another interesting thing that I think is interesting is that he fits the kind of the description of a Targaryen. He has the purple eyes. He has the silver blonde hair that he had dyed blue. He kind of fits the mold as a Targaryen. So, with all of these kind of evidence proposed, right, is there a fair argument to say that he's a Targaryen? Yes. And I think at this point, it's 50-50 maybe. But I think with, I'm someone that's got done reading The Night of the Seven Kingdoms, I think there's a lot of foreshadowing in there. I think, especially the third novella, that I think there might be another Blackfire kind of rebellion with Aegon. And again, I would highly recommend, because I'm not going to go into my arguments of why I think Young Griff is a Blackfire. I kind of did a little bit of like countering points that were made in this video. But I would highly recommend, if you're interested in this topic, to watch my Blackfire videos for Young Griff. I will probably have them linked in the description. Also, we'll probably have cards up during the video. But let me know, what do you guys think? I think narratively, they both make sense. Having Young Griff be the legitimate Targaryen that would be coming to the throne over Daenerys would be an interesting thing. And I think Young Griff, in his own way, might possibly become a lot more arrogant and might be thinking, why do I need Daenerys? Why do I need to marry Daenerys? I'm the one that took the throne. Kind of having some of those Targaryen traits come out where he doesn't really need Dany at this point, and he kind of overlooks the fact that she has dragons. So I think that could be something that plays into that. And I also think playing around with Daenerys' sanity, I'm someone that doesn't want to see her go insane because I saw how the show did it and I just don't like it anymore. But I think what would be really interesting is just using that to make Dany very morally gray, where Dany might have to do some things where they're not morally good, but the things she has to do to get past Young Griff. So I think that either way, him being a Blackfire or a Targaryen, it doesn't really make a difference. I think he's still set up to be someone that is going to be against Daenerys. Now, I think the last piece of evidence I want to talk about in this video is the idea of Aegon being the Mummer's dragon. Now, a lot of people have interpreted it, like me, that he's not actually a Targaryen. He's not the real dragon. He's a fake dragon being a Blackfire. Now, the way that I think, if you're saying he is a Targaryen, you can kind of go against this, is that he's kind of being used as a puppet dragon, where he is a legit Targaryen, but people like Varys and Illyrio are being kind of these mummers or puppeteers, more or less, of Aegon. So I think that, for me, could be how you could explain that if George goes the Targaryen route instead, or maybe that was the plan all along. But yeah, thank you guys all for watching this video. I know you guys love it when I talk about Young Griff. These are always my best performing videos, usually on singular characters at least. And I hope you guys all enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.
If you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention.